James Small Business Show.
Welcome. We're so glad to be here, everyone. Globe Life Park, Arlington, Texas. Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network with co-host Brittany Wise.
Hey.
How you doing, Miss Brittany?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
And Carol Harper Poe. How you doing, Miss Carol?
In the house.
In the house with our expert practitioner all the way from Buffalo, New York, Miss Carla Murphy. How you doing, Miss Carla?
I'm doing wonderfully.
Wonderfully? That means you're wonderful.
Yes, I am.
All right. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay.
And we have our delivery courier expert, Mr. Sonny. How you doing, Mr. Sonny?
Good evening, Dr. James and ladies and everyone on the staff. Your life has purpose. Your life has a plan. Never let go of his unchanging hands.
Amen.
Well, everybody get their popcorn ready
right.
because another stunning, intense show.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. We're so
Stunning
excited.
and
We
intense.
can't wait. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So we're going to start with our delivery courier expert, Mr. Sonny. We're going to get into choices. And we're gonna elaborate really good on these choices, on these topics. So, Mr. Sonny, do we take the time to make them correctly?
See, Dr. James, I came up with this a few days ago, and I said, Lord, we know time is of the essence, so choices. So I say, do we take the time, because time is of the essence, because we know once we make a choice, we also have a purpose behind the choice that we make. So I say that we have to take time to think about the choices that we make, because we know soon we make those choices, the consequences are coming, whether it be good or bad, and we have to look at how we're going to look at those consequences. Basically, I say to people that if you make choices, you got to look at the benefits for yourself and as well as others. If you're, a mother, or father, or whatever you may be, if it's going to affect those that love you, that care about you, whatnot, that's what we have to take the time to before we make them.
So I guess I'd like to touch on that. So the time allotted, I guess it just depends on the person, right? I mean,
yes.
Some people may take a quick decision because that's what they're used to, and some people may take time. It may take days, weeks, or months because of maybe their personality, right, Mr. Sonny?
Yeah, see, and that's true. And I came up with this analogy. Everyone's familiar with the playground if you grew up, you look at the playground equipment called the seesaw, and I look at the seesaw. One person's up, one person's down. So what we see, a person may see, it's not going to be there. But if a person looks at the whole picture and look further down the line, we saw something else. We saw something greater. So that's the mindset you have to have. A person has to have I see what's attainable. But you can't look at the outside or whatnot. You got to look at the purpose of what you're looking for. Like you say it's right out there. It depends on the person and what they're looking at, what their time allotted.
So are we upset with the outcome?
Yes, I would, speaking from my opinion through experience, I have been upset because I come to go back to the first question I had, is that people haven't took the time. We be so hasty to, hey, let me go ahead and jump into it. It's like, jump off into something, you don't know the whole ordeal, the whole matter, whatnot. We're just so eager. I mean, not saying the get rich quick scheme, but people like to take the shortcuts, and I mean, I'm guilty of it. I don't know anybody else, whatnot. But we take the shortcuts when we know, hey, we should have just went through the opposite way, and we could have avoided these detours, these pitfalls, these setbacks, these short stops, the shortcomings. So I would say yes, but the upset shouldn't deter us or discourage us. It should encourage us to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to learn, and I can elaborate, and I can move forward, learn from my mistakes, and tell somebody else, hey, take the time, think about the consequences, but at the same time, look at it. Don't get upset, don't be discouraged, but, look at it so you won't have to go across these bumps in the road again.
Well, I know, Miss Brittany, I know you like to talk about choices and taking time to make them correctly. Let's talk about your take on it. Okay. Everybody get their popcorn ready.
Listen to my guns.
Yes, come on now.
Well, one of the things that when you said choices, Mr. Sonny, the one thing that stuck out to me is it's always a choice. So I have I kind of have this disdain when people go, well, you ain't got no choice. You know, that's kind of what I know. Right. I always got a choice. Like we all always have choices. There's always multiple choices of whatever it is that you're going to do.
Right.
Some of them require long, elaborate thought, depending on the severity. And then another one is, you know, just make a quick decision, like what you're gonna eat today. That's usually a quick choice.
Right.
But when you get out of bed, everything you do is choice related. Like from the moment you get out of bed to, you know, what if you're gonna drink coffee or get a smoothie. Like every choice has a consequence attached to it, good or bad.
Okay.
So even when I think about health and wellness, what you eat today will determine how well your health is in 10 years, 20 years. So everything in life has a choice. So I can go on all day about choices.
I love it.
The kitchen is open. Keep cooking.
The kitchen is open. Cook that fish.
Keep cooking.
I will touch on, Mr. Sonny, when you mentioned just using your choices and the consequences that come with them as an opportunity to learn and grow. That is vital. So even sometimes with the wisdom that I've acquired from, you know, I've been around older people my whole life. I was raised by my grandparents. They were born in 1923 and 1926. So you can kind of imagine my mindset on a lot of things to be born in the 80s and been raised by somebody that was born in the 20s. But even with that wisdom and insight, there were certain roadblocks that I had to meet and certain things that I had to learn for myself.
Right.
And that requires a certain level of growth. So sometimes we look at the children now, or, you know, we're older and we look at our kids and we're like, okay, now I told you not to do that.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes they got to just go ahead and you got to go ahead and touch the fire for you to know that it's hot. You know, like, so we just got to learn that some people are wired that way where they just got to experience it themselves for that growth.
Right.
And that comes with allowing people to make choices. Even our kids, I can tell you what's coming, but sometimes you still got to go ahead and hit your head on the wall for you to really get it.
Absolutely. And
that's just a personality difference with people.
Absolutely. How sweet it is. Let's move on to manually, as that's opposed to autopilot. So let's talk about manually. Mr. Sonny, is it more than just the use of hands?
Yeah, see, no, and I looked at that, and I, you know, because we all know manual means like, you know, you doing something with your hands or whatnot. But see, I also looked at it as it's more than the use of your hands. Like, you know, I just talked about choices. It's the use of time. It's the use of your mind, your mindset, like Ms. Brittany said about the choices that we make, whatnot. So, I mean, cause I looked at like, you know, we have people out here who are not, you know, who don't have hands or who don't have the limbs or whatnot, but the mind, the brain. You know, and so we had to do, you know, everything. Not nothing against social, the technology and everything, whatnot. But I look at it that we can use more than just our hands. We can still be fruitful, still be useful to do something to encourage, to inspire someone else. You know, I mean, so I mean that's why I say it's more than just the use of hands. You know, don't be limited because I mean I can't do this because I don't have this nor that. But I'm a firm believer of manual work. You know, and I'm not just talking about the hands. You know, find yourself something to do. You know, I mean, you know, whether it may be, but you find yourself something to do to where you don't have to, you know, look, I don't have access to the internet. I don't have access to this, but not, because like Ms. Brittany said about the being raised by her grandparents, I was raised around a lot of older people, my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents, and I'm not off into the technology. And I have one grandchild. I'm hoping and praying that I can do the same with him. I want to be more recreation. I come from the recreation area. When you got up, you ate breakfast. By the time you go back to your room, if the bed was made up, hey, get out there and go play, you know, fun with your friends or whatever. You just sit up in front of the TV or play video games and this and that. You know, it's more recreational. So that's why I'm a firm believer of manual. You know, manual work and manual just, you know, all being, you know, I mean, just this being a manual person.
So can we handle the rewards of it?
Yes, I truly believe that we can, because I'm not saying nothing against this generation. I pray that it doesn't take, but what I'm seeing is that the setback of people are not reaping the rewards of it because they're not being more manual with their time or going out here or doing what they need to do. They're depending on, hey, you know what, my mother will do it. Or I mean, back when I was growing up, I mean, my parents, my aunts, my uncles and whatnot, they pushed us, hey, get out of school, go to the service or go to college, do something with your life. But now it's like, it's more coddling, more handicapping, if you will. I don't want to use that word, but more coddling, if you will. Like, the generation is like, you know, oh, don't worry, they're going to get this and that. But by the time they're 30-some years old or 35 and you're still depending on mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, I mean, after a while, you know, you start to wonder, like, hey, are we seeing the rewards of this? You know, I want to see the rewards. Or I didn't want to become a burden to my parents. I didn't want to become a burden to my grandparents or my aunts and uncles. I wanted them to see the rewards of the labor, manual labor. I mean, my dad worked 30 years with Southwest and Bell. I'm approaching 13 years with the water department, and I'm grateful because I've seen the example that was set before me. Both my grandparents were educators in the education system, so I knew for a fact that would have to work. I'm the father of a college graduate. That's a college graduate. I got four high school graduates, but I'm proud to say that the example that I put before them, they've seen that. So I want them to reap the rewards for themselves because they saw something put before them what they need to do. So it's like, you know, just follow the basic instructions. You know, if you get something, so say this and close it out. But if you get something that's disassembled and it has the instructions, you read the instructions, the manual, and you go by those instructions, you're going to put together, you're going to see a nice assembled model car or a nice assembled piece of equipment. And you're going to be like, hey, I like it, I love it. Now you see the rewards of it. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Can we handle the results of the rewards? Yes, we can, but the thing about it, we have to do our part to see the results, and that's even with our children or our nieces and nephews or whoever we may be upon us. Set forth an example, even in the community.
Now, Mr. Sonny, I really like where you're going with this. One of the things I've learned over the years is if you teach a man to use his hands, he'll never be broke. And
come on now.
Just, you know, we're starting to cross over into a generation where we're encouraging more of the manual labor. Before, like you said, it was go to college, get an education, and while that was good for the 60s, the generation of the baby boom generation, because when they went to college, they got out of college and they got really good jobs. Now my generation, we pay $100,000 to go to college, and we're not getting degrees that actually turn into jobs that pay well. Right. So it's just like we're just getting all this debt and we're working backwards. So you're seeing a lot more of the manual labor, the electricians and the plumbers, and like I may not need a psychologist, but eventually I'm gonna need a plumber. Like, you know,
absolutely.
So you teach a man to use his hands, he will never be broke.
And I love how you put that, Miss Brittany, because you have professional gamers out here. You know, and that's pretty much. I mean, I know people are making money being gamers and whatnot, but that's just basic paid couch potatoes to sit at home and play games and compete and whatnot, and they're making more money than CEOs.
Yeah, and that's the part that the millennials are, you know, is kind of scary in respect, because a lot of them want something for nothing. They want to be Instagram models.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Let me become viral.
Okay, wait a minute. You're 8 years old and you make $200,000 a year on YouTube. That's okay. Let's teach you how to answer a phone. Let's teach you how to serve food. You need to learn how to clean the toilet before you know. And it's a balance. It comes with good parenting to know the difference and recognize. Let me teach you how to work.
You know,
and then show you how to make money. So,
Miss Brittany, it seems like it's a bad word these days. That 4-letter word,
work.
Work, which followed by a response. What?
Awesome.
What did you say? Work.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How sweet it is. So on that ending, we're gonna get ready to get into vendor shows after this commercial break. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. James, host of Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network.
Broadcasting live each week on Saturday at 1 p.m. from Fishbowl Radio Network Studios at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. Log on to hear us talk about and feature small businesses and the life of a small business, the struggles, the triumphs, the daily operation, the grind of starting and running a small business. So be sure to log on each week on Saturday at 1 p.m. to catch Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network. Let's jump in.
Have you been stimulated? Want to learn how to keep stimulating that check? Contact Legacy Services today, where we give you the blueprint to becoming your own boss. A start-to-finish execution plan for the entrepreneur. Call us at 214-774-7503 or visit us online at legacyservices.com. LEGACI services.com. Do you have a side hustle? Well, let us show you how to turn it into a legit business. Having problems finding a job you enjoy? We show you how to create your own job. Follow us on all social media platforms, Legacy Services. Do you already have a business but you're wondering how to grow or expand it? Contact us today for assistance with contract RFPs, grants and funding, rebranding and image consulting, and strategic planning. Turn your passion into profit with the Business Concierge Legacy Services.
Turn your passion into profit. I love that, Ms. Brittany. Turn your passion into profit. We
Yes,
are
sir, yes,
back.
sir.
Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network. We are going to get into vendor shows, and I know Ms. Carol has some questions for Ms. Brittany. Take it away, Ms. Carol.
Yeah.
Yes. I just want to piggyback on what y'all was talking about. That's just going, Mr. Sonny and Brittany, that's just going back to that old landmark, what y'all was talking about. So I'm just going to leave it right there. So, Miss Brittany.
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing today, young lady?
I am fabulous. I can't wait to see
All
you.
right
How you
now.
doing?
I'm great. Can't
Making
complain,
big,
can't
major,
complain.
big money moves. Big money moves.
I'll stop it, girl. Okay. We're getting into the vendor show.
Okay.
What is a vendor, and how do you become one?
All right. Thanks for your question. Well, I touched
You're
on it a
welcome.
little bit last week, but to become a vendor, basically you just find an event, like a live event, and you purchase a booth for the event. So, for example, this is a shameless plug, Dr. James. I got my dance workshop coming up next month on May 15th. I'm selling vendor booths. So anyone can purchase a vendor, become a vendor. They bring their product and they set up a table and they sell to the patrons that come to my event. So in a nutshell, that's a vendor. When you hear the term vendor booth or vendor shows, or somebody's having an event and they have vendor tables, that's you being having the freedom to come to the event and sell your product or service to the patrons of the that are attending the event.
All right. Excellent. Keep us posted on that date on that and the time and where to go. So we want to support you and might
Yes,
become
ma'am.
a vendor. You
Yes,
never
ma'am.
know.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So how to become an effective vendor at an event and engagement with a dollar sign?
Okay, so engagement is money. Okay, so when you're a vendor, typically if you picture you're at this event, indoor, outdoor event, it might be a car show or something, and you have all these people that are attending the car show and they're walking around, they're walking past your vendor booth, they're looking at the product that you have on your table. The key to being an effective vendor is engagement. Okay, you want to talk to the people that are coming within a 5-foot, 10-foot radius of your table space. I personally like to support small businesses, specifically Black-owned small businesses. So when I go to a vendor show or I go to an event and there are vendors, I'm going to go to all the tables. Now it's up to the vendor to engage my presence, because the ones that engage my presence, I'm going to buy. I'm going to find something to buy from their table just to patronize that business. But you won't get my money if you don't say, hey, how you doing?
Right.
You know, I'm such and such. What brought you here? You know, would you like to be on my email list, or, you know, follow me on Instagram? However you want to engage the patrons, you have to speak to the people that are coming to your table.
Right.
It's not going to happen, you know, naturally where somebody look at your shirt and go, okay, how much for the shirt? No, you have to engage that person. You have to engage your customers. And I'm going to be honest with you. I went to a car show about a month ago. And, you know, people are starting to go outside and,
Right.
you know, get into, you know, normal life again. And there were vendors at the car show. I only spent $80.
Really?
Because I wasn't engaged at the car show.
Right.
I said when people speak to me and they engage me, I'm going to buy. I bought stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't even know what it is. Like, like homemade necklaces and jewelry that I'm really not going to wear it or use it.
Right.
Or some soap, or, you know, I'm going to buy something just to
Absolutely.
patronize the individual that's there. That's how you make your money at a vendor show. That's how you engage in those relationships and you build those contacts. You say, hey, let me, you know, follow me on Instagram, or here, I'm doing a drawing for such and such. Put your name and your email right here and your phone number. That's how you get those contacts with people, and that's how you keep those people coming back, especially if they buy something from you. You want to call and follow up and say, hey, how'd you enjoy the sugar scrub that you bought from me?
Right.
Most people don't do that.
Right.
And that's the difference between winning and losing, especially at a vendor show. You spend your $50, $100. You want to make sure that you, one, make your money back, but you leave with contacts of people who are interested in your product.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to rat all day about vendors.
That's okay. You're doing good. I love it. That's new info. So we're going to change gears here. We're going to talk about method of advertisement.
Okay.
So our number one question is, what's the purpose of advertising?
Well, in a nutshell, is to get your word out about what it is that you do. Because if you don't tell anybody what you do, then nobody knows. So even the large companies that you would think they already have a brand, McDonald's, Wendy's, they still advertise to us on a regular basis, right? So us as a small business, we need to continue advertising so we can tell people about what we're doing, what's coming up new, what's changed in our company, how we're rebranding, how we're focusing on something else, how this new client has shaped us and made our business different and grow, and XYZ. We got this event coming up, and now we're learning this new task, and we got this new class coming. All that is advertising.
Right.
Like all of that is telling. Okay, sometimes, you know, you can inundate people with advertising. It's like, okay, I don't want to hear nothing else you got going on. So I try to, you know, keep a relationship with people, but ultimately you want to tell people about what you're doing. And at times for me, I feel like I'm getting on people's nerves because sometimes I may not say hi to you, and then I'll pop up and be like, hey, come to my event. Right. And I feel like, you know, I'm not being relational, and they go, no, you know, keep telling me about what you got going on. Eventually I'm going to, you know, have time to come to such and such, you know. Right. And so that feedback helps, but ultimately you just got to keep telling people about what you do so you can have that voice. You know, my prayer, about 3 years ago, I was listening to a T.D. Jakes sermon, and it was called, Lord, Make Me the Answer. Mm-hmm. And he talked about a key, and he held up a key, and he was like, this key has been cut and chiseled and shapen to open a door or, you know, unlock a specific door. Right. And he said, Lord, make me the answer. And that was my prayer. And the funny thing is, I've talked to people that I ain't talked to in 8-9 months. Mm-hmm. And they'll have a conversation with somebody, and in their mind, they're thinking, Brittany knows. Right. But you ain't talked to Brittany in 9 months. Right. But I'm the answer to whatever it is. And I was like, okay, Lord, I see what you're doing. But that's, whew, Lord, I can go on and on. What you got?
I know Miss Carla wanted to touch on the purpose of advertising. Go ahead and speak it out, Miss Carla.
Well, thank you for allowing me a time to share. And when I think of advertisement, I go back to what Ms. Brittany previously said, and to me, it's people implementing themselves as they turn their passion into profit. And so I believe that we all, when we decide to have a business or a venture or a vendor, whatever it is, we all like to start something that matters. And so that being said, we started, and then we have to market it. And so by advertising our products and services, we're also advertising ourselves, which always helps us to strengthen our brand. So that's my thoughts about the purpose of advertising, is growing every way that you can, and particularly through sharing by advertising and marketing.
Awesome.
Yeah. All righty then. Awesome. Nice question, answers, everybody. So, Miss Brittany, how do you advertise your business?
Well, for me, is more so, like I said, word of mouth is the best advertising, because I can be on a billboard or a radio show or, a commercial, but having that one-on-one, hands-on, hey, I know Brittany top notch, she know her stuff. That's way better than me doing any kind of commercial in any business. If I say, hey, Dr. James is legit, don't worry about whatever Dr. James tell you to do, go ahead and do it. People gonna respect that over seeing his face on the billboard.
Right.
Just ultimately, but you still want to have that marketing for people like me who are like, oh, okay, I see such and such in the newspaper, let me make that phone call if there's something that I'm needing at the moment. So that's also a good form of advertising. But you have to remember, you represent your company. So how you want to represent your company, you need to walk it, okay? So regardless of where you're at, what you're doing, if I'm a businesswoman, I can't be, out with my, looking like a, I'm not going to say that on the radio, but, you looking some type of way, or you doing all this sexual, all this kind of stuff. You want to remember that you represent your brand, you represent your company. So how you walk and how you move about, if you operating out of integrity, that's going to show in your company, and you're going to reap the consequences of that, like we talked about with choices. So that goes for regardless if you're a small business or a large business. I'm seeing a lot of the PPP is showing the level of integrity with a lot of people. So there's a lot of people getting $20,000 and $30,000 loans, and they don't even have a business.
Right.
That's an integrity issue, okay? That's all that is. And that's you representing you as an individual. And if you did have a business, eventually that fraudulent behavior will come down on you. So you want to walk the walk and talk the talk.
Absolutely. And I wanted to touch on that, the purpose of advertising, in case most people don't understand. It is not just posting stuff on social media. Mm-hmm. Social media is one aspect of advertising. The whole grand stage of advertising that's a part. Post on social media, meet people, pass out your business card, call people, tell people about what you do, everything that goes with it. Because if you're missing out all, I'm just going to post. No. And then what's going to happen is you're going to just sell to your friends, and then they'll refer some friends, but you want people that you don't know, because the world is made up of people that you don't know.
Right.
No matter how many friends you have, the world is 7.7 billion people. That means there's 7.6 or more billion people you don't know.
Right.
So if you're going to advertise your business and you're really going to be able to grow and get enough customers to do certain things, then you have to do everything included. And so on that topic, we're going to get ready to move into a niche, and we're going to talk about that next.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Are you looking to develop your business? Are you ready to focus on building your brand? Let's gel. Let's grow, earn, and learn together. I am Carla Murphy. I am uniquely different. I'm waiting to hear from you. I'd love to help you to develop your brand and your business. Please call me at area code 716-553-3109 or email me, Carla Murphy, uniquely different @gmail.com. Or you can look me up on social media via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Alignable. I am uniquely different. I am Carla Andrea Murphy. Let's jet.
I take these
enemies, they tear my system down. Tried so hard to keep you out. I went crazy by myself, crying alone. Anxiety, it keeps me on the edge, close to jumping off this ledge. I sip perp to clear my head since you've been gone. These enemies, they tear my system down. Tried so hard to keep you out. I went crazy by myself, crying alone. Spaced out, staring at the ceiling, talking to my demons, asking for a reason why I feel the way I'm feeling. If I'm the one who cheated on the sex without no meaning, I like to keep her heart safe from my start beating. Now I try so hard to stay medicated so I don't have to face the wrong I've done. I take these enemies, they tear my system down. Try so hard to keep you out. I went crazy by myself, crying alone. Anxiety, it keeps me on the edge, close to jumping off this ledge. I sip her to clear my head since you've been gone. These enemies, they tear my system down. Try so hard to keep you out. I went crazy by myself, crying alone. Anxiety, it keeps me on the edge, close to jumping off this ledge. I sip her to clear my head since you've been gone. Since you've been now I try so hard to stay medicated so I don't have to face the wrong I've done to you. These they make me anti-social. Tear my system anti-social.
All right, guys. We are back, and we headed to our expert practitioner, Buffalo, Miss Carla. Miss Carla, let's talk about niche here. What is a niche, Miss Carla? Hold on just for a minute, Miss Carla. I had to call back in. Hold on. Miss Carla, are you back with us? Hello, Miss Carla. I don't hear. Let's see. Miss Carla? We don't hear you. I tell you what. Call right back, Miss Carla. Okay, I think she's calling now. Let's see. Miss Carla, are you here? Miss Carla, are you here? Hold on. Miss Carla, are you here?
I'm here.
All right.
Hey, there she go.
Miss Carla dropped off just for a minute. Let's talk about niche. What is a niche, Miss Carla?
Thank you for asking. A niche is a specialized segment of a market for particular kinds of products and services. It denotes products, services, and interests that appeal to small, specialized sections of populations. A business niche is a hole in the current market where the business's unique selling proposition is appreciated by a select group of customers or a target audience.
Okay, awesome. So how can one develop a niche?
We can develop our niche by identifying our interests and passions. It may be something that you've already done before. We can identify problems that we can solve or else we can research the competition. It also helps to determine the profitability of your niche, and we should test our ideas. So basically, one of the strongest points that I find that helps me is to identify my interest and passion and figure out how I can build upon it and share it.
And I like that because I think it is important for each person that wants and has a business to develop their niche. Of course, in my case, I would have a lot of niches. So I'm a serial nicher.
I was thinking, I wasn't thinking that term, but I was like, Dr. James is a walking billboard. He got like 25 different niches.
I'm a serial nicher. But having said that, no, that is very important, Ms. Carla. Thanks for touching on that. Now, we want to get into what probably a little bit of piece of what I just got through talking about, word of mouth marketing. Ms. Carla, what is word of mouth sales?
Word of mouth marketing differs from naturally occurring word of mouth in that it is actively influenced or encouraged by organizations. So when mouth sales is when you are part of an organization and you're supportive of organizations or you're affiliated with organizations and people continually speak about your business. And so you speaking about it and them speaking about it will help people to trust you and to come and support you.
I love it. So what are the advantages of word of mouth marketing?
It helps you to grow sales without the ad spend. We know that advertisement can at times be very expensive and costly. It helps you to build a community, not a commodity. And word of mouth marketing works to build and engage people rather than trying to buy customers. The higher engaged customers buy more often. They recommend their friends more often. And they tend to speak a lot about your business, which helps to generate a high customer lifetime quality. It helps you to gain more funding, which ultimately leads to more freedom. And so brands with higher customer lifetime loyalty helps with repeat purchases, and it helps you with your vendor funding.
I love it. I love it. I know Miss Carol wanted to touch on the advantages of word of mouth marketing. Ms. Carol, talk about word of mouth marketing.
Well, word of mouth, I think everybody has hit it, Brittany and Ms. Carla. Word of mouth is just telling everybody about your what products or you sell or what kind of event that you got going on. So word of mouth, like everyone said, I follow that cab, is just getting your information out there so the people can know who you are, what you got, and what you got going on.
I love how you said that, Miss Carol. I'm going to follow that cab.
Now the major key with word of mouth marketing is when you fulfill somebody else's need, they want to tell the world, and that's the
Absolutely.
key. That's the key ingredient. If you can meet the needs of the customer, your product or business, then they'll tell whoever they need to tell.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
How sweet it is.
Ain't it? Dr. James, look, I was just watching on the CBS News. They saying that the vaccines cause blood clots in pregnant women.
Yeah, I definitely heard that. Yeah.
Let's talk about these vaccine jobs for a little bit. We're switching all the way left.
Sounds good.
But what does the job consist of?
So the vaccine jobs obviously is a temporary job. Obviously, when every American is vaccinated, it seems like a yearly job, a seasonal job.
Okay.
And so it consists of, I guess, getting people in line and helping people getting people to fill out paperwork or making fielding calls and stuff like that. So vaccine jobs, most people don't even think about that, but that has created jobs, but is not a permanent job, at least not 12 months. I'm assuming that'll be more of a 6-month job, a seasonal job, so people can, work. So I'm assuming, obviously we wish that that job wasn't even available, because we wish that we didn't have to take a vaccine to be able to, try to fight off COVID. But obviously we do have vaccine jobs.
Okay, interesting. So have you had your shot?
No, I haven't had my shot yet. I'm
Listen to his
just waiting.
gun smoke.
I'm just waiting, to see how things go before I do it. I know a lot of people have, and I'm a little nervous from it.
Okay. All right. I'm not even going to get on my soapbox about that.
Okay.
We're going to switch topics. So, money-making systems. Now, I love systems. That's the magic word for me. I'm wired on analytical thinking and ABCD systems. Okay. So, give an example of 3 systems.
Okay. So, an example of 3 systems. One would be making money online from home. So one of the there's an affiliate marketing kind of touch to it, where you can have customers click on links to be able to make commission. That is one way. There's another way to be able to, let's say, get brands to look. Well, you look at brands, different brands, whether it's Huggies or Pepsi or Coke. There's systems I have where you can just look at what they have, and you'll get paid for it. I'm going to say it again. You don't have to buy what they have. You can look at what they have, and they'll pay a percentage. Small, but they'll pay. So these systems are awesome. I have a travel agent system, meaning you don't even have to be a travel agent. You can do certain things with travel, or you can get paid commission off of you and your family travel. And I know a lot of people's getting ready to start traveling now. So these systems really work, that I've used for a long time, and I continue to use them. So I do get a lot of people that choose to use the systems when they call me or talk to me about trying to make more money. I've just given you 3 out of maybe 20 that I have. So yeah.
Interesting. There are a lot of systems. Like, if you really understand systems, then you can understand business.
Right.
Because all of business is about systemizing. If you can make everything systematic, then you can be in Costa Rica chilling, and the system is still running.
Absolutely.
And everything in life is a system, like education system, the political system, you got the prison system.
Right.
Like, there's a system in everything. So when you see it and when you understand it, then you can implement it in your own business, which is powerful.
Absolutely.
So give an example of what the rich do compared to others as it pertains to money and passive income.
Listen to my gun smoke.
Gun smoke.
So the bottom line here is, typically, what the rich do compared to most people spend money for things. They spend money for things normally. And what rich people do is they spend money for that to help them make more money.
Yep.
An example is they'll spend money on real estate, and buying the real estate costs you money, but in the long run it pays you.
Right.
Another example is vending machines. It costs you money to buy a vending machine. You got to pay for it, but in the long run the vending machine will pay you back and then some. Another example is ATMs. It costs you money to buy it. Most people don't want to spend money on nothing. They want to try to do their business and try to make money, and blah 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 blah. But then they don't want to spend any money to really buy things to make money that doesn't require your presence. What happened is you keep trying to spend money on stuff, because you always got to spend money on certain things: promotion, advertising, marketing type of stuff. This is totally different. There's going to be a time when you're getting to a point where maybe you're too old to be able to really deal with customers like you should, and so now you can be able to still make money monthly, because through your life you've spent money on things to help you make money that doesn't require your presence. So that's all.
So it sounds like rich people invest in things that appreciate in value, versus the poor find stuff that depreciate in value.
You got it.
Right.
Awesome. How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
We're going to move on to our co-host, Miss Carol Harper Poe.
Carol.
Miss Carol, talk to us about the new book out. Give us the name and why you wrote it.
All right. Thank you, Dr. James, for that. So the new book out is A Mother's Love.
Okay.
And why I wrote it, I dedicated it to my mom. She passed away January 26, 2021, this year. So I just woke up passionately out of the blue and nowhere, and in my spirit, the Lord said, write this book. So it took me 24 hours to write this book. 24 hours, yes. It took me 24 hours. Then after that, I had to do a lot of editing on it because it needed a lot of work, but 24 hours. So I dedicated this book, and I'm just going to read a little passage from it. It says, A Mother's Love is dedicated to all the people in the world that have a mother. They still living, they passed on, or you about to be a mother. Also, I wrote this book, I already stated that when my mom passed, I just wanted to share what was on my heart about a mother's love. It said, please take every moment, cherish every moment, use every moment with your mother. I'm not just saying your mother, but I'm saying your family members, your friend, and everybody in your inner circle. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the time. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't be so caught up in this thing that we call the world and what we do and what we got going on when we leave our family, our inner circle out. When it all boils down to the end of one's life, you only have one more time. You have no more time to spend with the loved ones that you love. Like I said, treasure the moment until every end when the last breath. And I also wrote, God bless you. Then I goes on about the poem. So basically, that is it on that question, Dr. J.
Where do we get it? Kindle softcover?
All right. Thank you, Dr. J. Basically, I already know. Y'all know who I deal with. Amazon.com. That is my baby. That is who I deal with because it's easy. It's easy access. You can get it from me. And an audio is coming soon. And you can order from even my email, POWECAROL311@gmail.com, or call me 469-643-6498, and all the social media.
I love it.
Carol's Publishing Company, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram.
Nice.
All the social media.
Nice. And I'm gonna add some icing on top of nice. Anyone that buys her book before next Saturday, anybody buys her book, I'm giving them a $200 gift card. Wow. So, Miss Carol, you let me know from this show, from today to next Saturday, if anybody buys your book, make sure you get the information, the email, the phone number, and I will send them a $200 gift card to thank them for buying your book, Miss Carol.
Nice.
Listen to my Gunsmoke.
Listen to our Gunsmoke. That's the end of the show, guys. This was a wonderful, great show, and we'll see you guys next time on the flip side on the Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network.
Welcome to the Small Business Network show. Welcome to Dr. James Small Business Show. Dr. James Small Business Show. Welcome to the Small Business Network Show. Dr. James, small business